If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
In the course of a game, we focus on the offense and the defense, and we give lip service to the special teams. It's way bigger than that. The third phase of any football team, and special teams provided the spark to begin this game.
Ready.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Winston into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move?
This is intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. But no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. Just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. This is caught by Evans. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The Giants at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. Well, he did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Winston now. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Jameis to throw it. There's Chris Olave. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Throwing, Winston.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now they'll toss it out right to Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Tries the left side and finds Olave. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. The kick by Lutz is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Will Lutz on for the point after. And that will make this a 16-point lead.
Makes the score Saints 16, Giants nothing.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded right around the 8. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go. than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. McKenzie, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Looking to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Play action now. Winston going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Winston now from the 50.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tariq Carpenter. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
This will be caught downfield by Moore.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From the 6. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's him. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running.
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked by Julian Love. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown.
Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
He'll get it across midfield down to the 49.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Winston. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Giants drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Now left side on the swing pass. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Taken down at the 47-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 47-yard line.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Point after through the raindrops, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the 6. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their lead is hanging by a thread after that pick 6. But look, they're still in the driver's seat. Now the question, how aggressive will they be on this drive? Time to find out. 2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And some room to work. And now off to the races down the right side. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, New Orleans. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Steps away to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Smith, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And taken right on the 30. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Winston. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating.
This game won't let me fucking intercept the fucking ball, man. It's fucking bullshit. Fucking, I caught 2 out of 8.
Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Back to throw now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McKenzie. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 45-yard line.
2nd and 3. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Giants go on fourth but come up empty. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Off the play fake, Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Kamara up the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Winston now. Open man is Michael Thomas.
And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Try to pound it in, Kamara. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Winston.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick, trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you will too.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon. They're down here in the 2nd half. Want to try and make something happen. And if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. On play action, Winston. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Saints, it'll be a much happier locker room here as they get that first win after 5 straight losses to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Our Father who art in heaven, I love when you toss me blessings. You never throw interceptions, I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to not the devil when built like Tiana Teller and balling at 27. I feel like he mind Shepherd. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive, the streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class, seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united, allegiance my soul forever. I murder my enemy.
Going there like deposit. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read it, nigga hooked on phonics. Say a lot of things and never catch like Sonic. Zoom, I'm gone. When the memos on and get it going Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, oh no, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down. Tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, like shit, wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style. They be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down. Making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool. Tear down. Tear down. Tear down. Tear down. Tear down. Boosted up my cardio. I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down. Tear down. Tear down. Tear down. Tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the league, but you ain't hooping around and tear you out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, the only thing you do is veer off. Showing face, top, then you wouldn't hear it cheered off. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I ain't got no talk, cause I be really out my mind. When the hate don't work, I guarantee they get the line. They all talk, dog, it's a room full of brines. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hell the king, made the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta justify, I'm cool. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted on my cardio, I used to get the run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, one o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
Let's go. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the first of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The long falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The chattermouths who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. Next level. One of the best. Everything. I am the place. Remember me.
What you waiting for? Are you ready?
Okay, say no more. Tell the chauffeur to open Mercedes door. Put the pedal to metal and made it soar. She was, but I made it sure it was. So we stayed indoors. Let's take it where no one has been before. It feel like I've known you some years before, but I don't know. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it. Mama, I'm on the big screen. I took a big swing out of life. I'm doing big things in my life. I deserve 6 rings like a Mike. I got a no sleep. I remember when it was the nosebleeds. Now they captured the fashion from flow seats. I'm a whole king. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it. Ooh, it's trouble in paradise. So let's parachute where the air's nice. And let's risk it all on the paradise. But she just wanna make sure her hair's nice. That's fair, right? I just fell in love with a prima donna. The 2023 Madonna. I mean, your honor, I was minding my business until she gave me complete nirvana. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares.
I told my boys it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping in track out with messed up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running streets, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it over. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just rub the jersey. It's the first half and we done dropped 30. We just up the scoring them, boy, man. I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with them bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I turn on my vision. You young and she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it at hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so bright. This visor will cover my face. You see me working and working. I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes.
I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. They screaming my name when I walk in the building. Yellow diamonds on me like I play for the Steelers. I'm in the field, yup, just like a Steeler. Oh, this your girl, my band had the Steeler. I hop on the beat and I float like a river. I caught a TD, yeah, right across the middle. I'm speaking thanks, boy, you telling riddles. Can't hang with the gang, so we had to sit them down. I'm in LA, riding around in the Ram. My dog just called, say he finna touchdown. When I call a play, you won't hear a sound. Hold up, money call it right now. I gotta go and get it, and it don't matter how. All I know is man, yeah, I'm 10 toes down. I keep my head high and my eyes on the prize. Yeah, my feet on the ground. Let's go. I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. Turned up, turned down right now. Too dope, make better get around right now. Hey, I'm too turned up, turned down right now. Too dope, make better get around right now.
Yeah, Yeah. Sound like some superheroes. Some black superheroes. Oh, yeah. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
You need a role like me. Military mind stated, and I keep in a degree. You can label me a Huey P. Made a martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mega. I refuse to let these dirty devils make Michael a beggar. A hero CEO, I will go Magneto for my people. Give me liberty or death, that is my credo, not my ego. Dressed in a tuxedo, into party, alter ego. Killed your leader in gazebo, did it for the people. Love what motivated, I did not do it for hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it. I was asked a question and the asker thought it hard. If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for every to be free here and abroad, and to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God, and to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Our own kind took nip from us. Money still reading, God we trust. Truthfully we envy, so why we so envious? And why our own kind envy us? Pac said it's hard, but we gotta keep our head up. Going even though we know we fed up. It's hell attention, cause we ain't careful where we all pay attention. I need all my real soldiers on the front line, fighting for the right just one time. So unstoppable together at the same time, with the same mind. Yeah, we're gonna be high and always above what's beneath us. So every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
I'm talking bulletproof kind of suit, reflect the struggle that they put us through, with the strength to fight the power like Chuck D do, with the insight to be equal. Note the sky needed a voice that finds reason to multiply people in the streets for the cause. Marching on Washington miners, we'll be walking through walls. Type of superhero show up when ain't no one to call, that'll shield you from them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes to peek the villains in the dark. Power of resolution for a war would even start. The knowledge to build and grow where they live, and take care of the kids and the older folk. The queen cause they need it most. Politics with the kings, about economic growth. Cure PTSD, cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry and dope. Everyone would know everywhere we go.
Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto.